welcome back to my little corner of the world. This is Casey's Corner. I'm Casey. And couldn't tell from the title, we're back with my another episode. I don't know, what are we on? 3 maybe? I don't know, my episode 2 basket check-in. I think it's the second official, like, what's in the basket? Let's see, but check in on my projects. That's what this is. This is my project check-in series. So where am I at right now? What projects am I working on? What's going on? So right now, mostly I'm working on researching my Texas Viking impression. You know, I'm varying, changing, names as I kind of figure out what the heck it is I'm doing and the language that people are using these days for these things. I'm learning. Like I said, I've been in a hole for a while. But yeah, so I'm been working on that. I have finally made it. I told y'all I wouldn't be back until I made it around the next corner of my cloak. So I have now. And look, I'm still doing all right. That's part of what's taking so long. Oh, of course, I picked the one spot I have these little mess ups, but overall, if you see from far away at a glance, you're like, that's an all right seam. It is, and even, it's thick though. It's thick. That's okay. It's okay. It's a practice one. This fabric's kind of fiddly. It's really big. It's a lot bigger than my first cloak. And it's a practice cloak. This isn't, when I make it for my Irish Viking that I'm doing, I do want to do a Viking Age Irish Viking impression. That one will be more authentic material. I still do have to be on the budget, so I'm probably, I have heard a hot tip from the Welsh Viking. You should check them out. I'll put a link in the comments. To check out secondhand stores, thrift stores. Woo! I hope the wind's not too bad. We're kind of in the corner, that's why you're a little close to it. But it's ASMR. That's a thing people like, right? Nature sounds, yay. Anyways, focus. But yeah, a hot tip, like look for old blanket wools at thrift stores. So I'm gonna do that as soon as I can. I don't drive right now. I don't have a driver's license, so I don't really drive. So as soon as I can get a ride, work out the timing with my husband and me, our schedules, so we maybe have like one day off together. And it's also like our only days we can run errands. Like today, he's taking some of our baby snakes off to their new homes to be picked out by their new daddy. But yeah, so he does for all the snake stuff. He's got all his permits and everything like that. All the legalities are covered. If you want to see pictures of those guys, of any of my snakes and stuff, I say let me know, and I might put them up on my Facebook page, which I do have now. By the way, let me go ahead and get these out of the way. I now have a public Facebook page, Casey's Corner, or Welcome to Casey's Corner. If you search me or type it in, like facebook.com/welcome to Casey's Corner. You see my face on there, you'll find me. And I'm on Instagram. It's KillerCasey327, and I guess I'll put those in the what is it that people say, the descriptions. I'm learning the lingo, y'all. So other updates on the project. I've been doing more research this week on I've gotten stuck spending most of the week trying to source this one thing so I can work on my staff, and I think this is going to be, let me see if I can lean back a bit and at least get a bit more of it. My staff, it's not as tall as I would have liked because my husband and kids put it in the fire. When did that happen? When was that? I think that was maybe that was the equinox. I don't know. It was one of our bonfires and stuff, and my husband was spinning it around, and it was so cool. And then I was like, wait, is that my giant staff that was taller than me? Now it's about my same height. So it's still usable for what I want it for, and what I want it for, and what I was trying to source was, I was pretty sure I had heard tale somewhere that a vulva, the Viking witch, was that they had, at least in one description, a staff that was it was wooden, copper, it was like copper wrapped, no, brass bound, and studded with stones. And I think I had it in my head that there was like, you know, a crystal knob on the top. And I've been trying to source it, and I think what I have, and I thought I had gotten it from a grave site, a grave find, and I think there is still a grave find that I am thinking of. But I also have the Saga of Eric the Red, that has a description of describes a Viking Age witch getting ready to do some of her magic, which I'm gonna try and say this word. Seder was what the vulva practiced. I'm gonna go into that in another video once I write down more of my research about it. A lot of that has been as far as because the books I have so far, I do not have any Viking Age witch specific books, so that's mostly to you know, I've got to watch videos, and I go to museum websites and stuff, and I'm looking through the grave finds and stuff, and there's also that thesis paper that I'm reading, and I'll put the links to that stuff also in the descriptions. So oh God, now I've done lost my train of thought now what I'm talking about, but I guess, yeah, that's the research I'm using right now until I can get but right now I'm working through an encyclopedia just to get a base knowledge of the Viking world, which you know, that's the Viking Age. You know, I was kind of trying to think of it to put it in perspective of what a big time period this is compared to like our own time period that we, you know, our whole lives are based on as far as like Americans. Like the Viking Age was like 300 years. America's been around like just over 200. Like, it's, come on. And we today, our entire world is still affected by the things the Vikings did. Like, you know, I'm going to do a whole video on this in the future. Never mind. I'm going to shut this conversation down right now. But I'm going to do a whole video on this, I think, because I mean, there's a thing there for me. I mean, come on, how can we pretend like the things that happened a couple hundred years ago don't still affect us now? Hell, the things that happened like, you know, 60 years ago don't still affect us now, when we are still being affected by the things that happened, you know, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. Like, I mean, come on, our entire world was based on the Christianization of that. Our timeline is, you know, is based on that. So it's come on, it's disingenuous, I believe, to with a straight face say that history of the past, you know, 50 to 200 years doesn't affect us, 400 years even doesn't affect us now, when we're still living in a world that's been molded by the actions of people a couple thousand years ago. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my projects right now. I'm coming up with a new one. There's that one and stuff. And as far as, and I'm also, I don't have it here in my basket, but, I was just checking yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, I'm adding to my notes on the deviant paper and stuff, and my notes on, which is, I'm working on, my map of the Viking world, thereabouts, what was known as far as about the 1060s, which is, I'm thinking when my Texas Viking is going to be based about, because that was about, you know, that we do have New World settlements from the Vikings outposts in Newfoundland and around the that turn of the century. And that was a time when and I've said this before, but this is like going to be a big part of this, my Texas Viking project and stuff would be, why on earth would Vikings keep going so far, and all the way here, and why would a lone woman like a vulva, like a witch and stuff go? And one thing is, because these are treacherous journeys and stuff. It's not easy to go across the ocean and settle new worlds, and but this was also, her world was changing. The Viking culture was Christianizing, and in violent ways at points. I mean, we all know that it was a violent and suppressive time, and that's the world we live in right now, is because of all that. And if you were a woman who had respect and power in her community, and then your community is Christianized and you are villainized now, you no longer have that respect, you may want to move on. You may want to hop on that ship that's journeying off to the new world and see, all right, we'll keep going. We'll see what's out there and stuff. That may have been what pushed many of those Vikings that decided to come to these settlements, on the furthest edges of their worlds, and was their worlds were changing, and powers were shifting, resources were being used, and the access to those resources was shifting in this time, and they kept pushing. So they came all the way to the new world, and I think that's really awesome. And I think it's also really awesome just how the more we're learning about the Vikings, especially in this past 15 years, seeing how our view of them is changing, and seeing how they weren't just this band of raiding monsters or whatever. Like, they were just this culture of people that existed and had a major effect on the world, and were very multicultural. They traded with people all over, so I think it's really awesome, and I think that's part of why I want to do this project, why I've fallen so passionately into this Viking Age project and stuff, where I've started out researching Irish history, and then somehow I've fallen into the Viking era and stuff, which, again, definitely will blame my husband for wanting to dress up to the Texas Viking Festival, because of course I couldn't do it without doing my research first. And so here we are, and it's going to keep me busy for months and months now. This is definitely going to be a long time project and stuff, as I'm refining this. I've also researched and found that they did have mines for turquoise in the area where Vikings were trading with people from the Middle East. And so my turquoise brooch, my Viking Age era turquoise brooch and beads and stuff, I think she definitely would have, could have, not would have. I mean, again, this is all fictional. I'm making all this up. Remember, Vikings didn't actually make it to Texas. Remember that. This is just a fun thought project. But I do think that turquoise definitely could have been a choice she made based on the fashion of, maybe seeing the fashion of what was already here, because I do know that's a thing people here were using. I am still researching, but I think once she got down further along the southern area, she would have seen people wearing them. So, and that she could have had access to them already, and seeing that these are a thing elsewhere, she could have been, because the Vikings, they like to be fashionable and they like to be on top of things. So I am taking a firm stand on that decision for the turquoise for my Texas Viking. And I'll also, yeah, I guess that's it. I'm going to end it there. I do have another couple other videos I'm gonna be making after this, so stick around, keep an eye out for those. I promised that fire skirt project, you know, that I want to talk to y'all about that more. And then also I have, you know, my mental health. I'm gonna do more mental health discussion videos. You see my bipolar 2 me series or whatever, check that out if you're into that. And let me know if y'all are interested in more of the that you know, 1 minute craft challenge thing I did. Oh, excuse me. I know it's not the most popular thing on my feed, but if y'all are interested in me fleshing that aspect out more and stuff, once I start getting into more of those other projects again, I do want to do. I've just been really busy lately, and I've diving into the getting my base research down for the Viking world, because like I said, I was very lacking. Most of my research before now has been in more prehistoric classical era, and then cut to the more modern, you know, the basically the history of America and forward, the modern era and stuff has been like the bulk of my research for the past decade, because I have a strong desire always to be like, why are things the way they are? Well, if you want to know that, history, just work your way backwards, like backwards and forwards, because that all ties into, you know, some of my research for the Viking era. What made me, you know, I kind of feel I'm coming full circle with this project, because the Viking era was able to come about because of the fall of the Roman era. Like the Vikings had traded with the Romans and picked up their ship techniques and adapted them, because some of the Vikings, the Scandinavians they had served with in the Roman army, learned of their ships, took it back. I'll post a link to that one in it's a TED Talk video, I believe. So they brought that technology back, and then as the power of the Roman age fell and the Roman Empire fell, the Vikings were able to step up and fill that void. And you know, I feel like, because a lot of my research has been like trying to fill in these puzzle pieces from that era to our era. Like, how did we get from the fall of the Romans to, you know, medieval times? Like, I was like, what happened? And so I feel like I'm finally filling in those puzzle pieces now, connecting the dots and stuff. I love that. So yay, if you know, do like, share, subscribe thing if you want to continue following me on this journey. Thank you so much to everybody for your support so far, and everybody that's commenting. And I think I'm up to like 40 something subscribers now, so that's amazing. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm up to like 90 something on you know, over on my Facebook and stuff, so I'm gonna have to like do some sort of like celebration when I hit like 100 over there and 50 over here. I don't know, maybe I'll answer some questions or something if anybody has any questions. Maybe I'll tell you why I named this Casey's Corner, because maybe it's not what you think it is, unless you really know me. But that'll be a celebratory thing if I hit 50. There you go. Share, help me get there, guys, and maybe you'll learn my mysteries if you care. Sorry, that really tickled me. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Bye, y'all. Because I can't talk anymore. Oh, alright, love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Y'all are awesome. Bye.